Single, 55, $2 million. Built it yourself. That's more than most couples ever reach, so you're set, right? Here's the mistake I see most often with successful single women. She looks at the 2 million number and thinks that's what she has to live on. It isn't. Between taxes, one Social Security check instead of two, and carrying every risk alone, your usable number is smaller than the headline. The question isn't whether 2 million is a lot, it's whether it's enough for you to actually retire on. And today, I'll show you how much smaller and how to fix it. I'm Hazel Secco, CFP and CDFA, founder of Aligned Financial Solutions. Here's the frame. The $2 million figure on your statement is a gross number. What matters for retirement is the usable number. What's actually available to fund your life after three things take their cut. And for single women, all three cut deeper. The first is taxes. The second is the absence of a backup. One income, one Social Security benefit, no second person. The third is longevity and care risk that you self-insure completely. None of these mean you can't retire. They mean the number you should be planning around is not the number on the statement. Let's take them one at a time because each one is fixable once you can see it. Start with the one people forget entirely. How much of that 2 million already belongs to someone else? Part 1. The tax mistake, gross isn't net. Most successful women have the bulk of their money in pre-tax retirement accounts, the 401k, the traditional IRA, decades of maxing them out, taking the deduction, which means a large slice of that 2 million has a silent co-owner, the IRS. Every dollar you pull from those accounts in retirement is taxed as ordinary income. So if a big chunk of your 2 million is pre-tax, your spendable number is meaningfully less than 2 million before you've bought a single thing. And here's where being single specifically bites. Single tax brackets are narrower than married ones. A single person hits each higher rate at roughly half the income a married couple does. So the exact same withdrawal that a married person makes gets taxed harder when you're single. Regular listeners heard this in the widow's penalty episode. For lifelong single or long divorced women, that penalty isn't a future event. It's simply how you're taxed every single year of retirement. 2 implications. 1, when you sketch your plan, count the pre-tax accounts at their after-tax value, not their statement value. That's the honest starting point. 2, this is exactly why the Roth work we keep coming back to this season matters more for a single woman, not less. Moving money to Roth in your lower income years, early retirement before Social Security and required withdrawals, pulls the IRS out of part of your balance permanently and softens the narrow single bracket problem for the rest of your life. If you want the exact worksheet for turning your own headline number into an after-tax one, it's in my free guide, The Executive Women's Retirement Tax Playbook. Links in the description. Now, the piece that's unique to going it alone and the one that quietly demands a bigger cushion. Part 2. The solo premium, no backup on purpose. A couple has redundancy built in, 2 Social Security checks, and one spouse dies, the survivor keeps the larger of the 2. Often 2 pensions or 2 work histories. If one person gets sick or needs care, the other can provide some of it or at least manage it. And 2 people can, in a pinch, cut expenses and lean on each other. A single woman has one of everything. 1 Social Security check, no spousal benefit, no survivor benefit to inherit, 1 income history, and if she's the one who gets sick, there's no spouse at home to provide care, which means care she needs is care she has to buy. That's a solo premium. The same retirement costs more to make safe when you're the only one in it because you have to purchase, with money, the backup a couple gets built in. This shows up most sharply in long-term care. According to Genworth and Care Scout's 2025 Cost of Care Survey, the national median for a private room in a nursing home runs around $130,000 a year. Assisted living in the mid-$70,000, in-home care around $80,000 a year. A couple often plans on one spouse helping the other for a while before paid care starts. A single woman usually can't, so a serious care need, one that might last a few years, is real 6-figure a year risk that lands entirely on her portfolio. Ignore it and $2 million looks roomy. Price it and you understand why the plan needs deliberate margin or a long-term care strategy or both. I'm not telling you to buy a specific product or panic. I'm telling you that what happens if I need care and there's no one to give it for free is a question a single woman's plan has to answer on purpose because no one else will answer it for her. And she has to fund all of that across a retirement that statistically runs long. Part 3, longevity, a long retirement self-funded. We covered this in the 4% rule episode, and it lands even harder here. Women live long. The data supports planning into the low to mid-90s for a healthy, higher income woman. And retiring in her mid-50s can mean funding 35 to 40 years. For single women, there's no second life expectancy to hedge against, no partner whose savings might outlast hers. Her money has to make the whole distance alone. That does two things to the plan. It lowers the safe withdrawal rate. A longer retirement means a smaller sustainable percentage, which is the whole longevity discount idea from the 4% episode. And it raises the stakes on the two risks that get worse late in life. Inflation eating a fixed income over 4 decades and care costs arriving in your 80s. A single woman's plan has to be built for the last year, not the average one. So stack it up. Taxes, take a slice, the solo premium demands margin, longevity stretches it all across 40 years. This is why $2 million can feel like plenty at 55 and still deserve a careful look. But, and this is the turn, none of it means the answer is no. Because a single woman also holds advantages, a couple doesn't, and the levers are strong. Part 4, the good news, the levers are stronger for you. Here's what the worry misses. Being single is also a genuine planning advantage, and it makes several levers hit harder. You have total control, no partner's timeline to coordinate, no compromises, a plan built around exactly one person, you. And the big levers line up beautifully. Lever 1, Social Security timing, which matters more for you than for anyone. It's your one check, so making it as large as possible is enormous. Every year you delay past full retirement age, up to 70, adds around 8% guaranteed and inflation adjusted for life. For a single woman, delaying to 70 is the closest thing to buying yourself a bigger, permanent, inflation-proof paycheck, the best longevity insurance available. And it's exactly the hedge you don't have a spouse to provide. Lever 2. The tax diversification we keep circling. Use your low income early retirement years to move money to Roth. So your later withdrawals, taxed in those narrow single brackets, come out tax-free. This window typically opens the moment you stop working before Social Security and RMDs begin, often a 5 to 10-year runway. This is the single most valuable thing many single women can do, and its whole leverage comes from planning it years ahead. Lever 3. A deliberate care plan. Decide now, while you're healthy and have options, how you'd handle a long-term care event. Earmark a slice of the portfolio, consider the insurance category, think through housing. Facing it on purpose is what converts a terrifying unknown into a line item. Lever 4, guardrails, not autopilot. Flexible spending, a little less in down markets, a little more in good ones, lets a single woman safely start higher than a rigid plan would allow. Control again, working in your favor. Research on flexible withdrawal strategies, Guyton Klinger guardrails suggest starting around 4.5 to 5% with a plan to cut spending about 10% in down sequence. Put those together and the picture changes. The same $2 million that looked shaky under the headline can, planned this way, fund a long, independent, comfortable retirement. Same number, real plan. So single, 55, $2 million. Can you retire? The honest answer is that it depends on whether you've made the one mistake, confusing the headline number for the usable one. $2 million on a statement isn't $2 million to spend. Taxes take a share. The solo premium demands margin. Longevity stretches it across decades. You fund alone. But every one of those is a known problem with a lever. Count your pre-tax money at its after-tax value. Build a care question into the plan on purpose. Make your one Social Security check as large as it can be. Move money to Roth while your rates are low. And spend with guardrails, not on autopilot. Do that, and the number that felt fragile becomes what it should be for a woman who built it herself. Independence on your terms for the rest of your life. So, can you retire? If you make those 4 moves, the honest answer for most women in this position is yes, the number holds. You didn't get here by guessing. Don't start now. If you're the woman I described, single, successful, starting at your number, and unsure, the next step is to see your real number, not the headline. The tax and Roth frameworks behind this are in my free guide, the Executive Women's Retirement Tax Playbook. Links in the description. And if you want your actual plan stress tested after tax value, the care question, Social Security timing, whether 2 million fund your life. I'm a fee-only fiduciary, no product sales ever. The link to book a free Align call is right below it. 15 minutes, no pressure. Whether we work together or not, you'll leave knowing your real number. I'm Hazel Secco, CFP, CDFA. The next piece of this is already on your screen. Click now and I'll see you there.